Elder Hugh S. Gowans, president of the Tooele Stake, made the opening remarks. He regretted the necessity which called forth the censure of the brethren who addressed the conference yesterday. He referred to conversations he had had with his fellow prisoners in the penitentiary, who, with himself, beheld with regret that the chastisement that was being inflicted upon the people was merited by us, and permitted to come in the wisdom of Providence, yet he was encouraged in the confident hope that our unpleasant experience would tend to the improvement of the people, individually and collectively. This fact was apparent that one and all were left to choose for themselves what course to pursue, and the fact that our free agency was in every respect unrestricted made it the more important that individual appreciate it. He endorsed the remarks of previous speakers to the young, and while he sometimes feared for them in their wild efforts to gratify their desire for worldly things and worldly pleasures, yet he was satisfied that the Lord would raise up a class of spirits that would be found faithful to the cause of God, and who would prove themselves worthy to perpetuate the institutions of heaven. The speaker, in an earnest and impressive manner, directed the attention of the congregation to the follies and vanities of the world, together with the responsibilities that devolved upon all who had entered into solemn covenants with God, and hoped that the elders, especially the men of families upon whom depended more or less the happiness of others, would be found satisfied with their labors when they shall have finished their earthly career. In closing, he referred to the high compliment that had been paid the brethren by Warden Dow in regard to the conduct of those who had served terms of imprisonment for conscience sake, in that their conduct and presence in the prison had begotten such a moral influence upon the real criminal inmates of that institution that had awakened feelings of astonishment in him, and he was free to acknowledge it and accord to our brethren the credit of such a state and condition of life as brought forth such moral fruit. We are indebted, he said, to the gospel plan and the author of it alone for the wonderful power that has made the Latter-day Saints peculiar in all that tends to make men better, and he hoped that this characteristic would be more and more manifested until the world at large should at last concede what a few have already acknowledged.